Hello everyone, welcome to Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors and coaches to build a business on your terms. So, sorry for the lateness, but I'm having technological nightmares. I am just messaging our guest because Zoom wasn't working because this awful weather has basically, taken all the internet away, and then my phone decided to crash on me. So, let's wait for our guest to join us. You'll see there's no Helena. She's somewhere very sunny in Lanzarote, taking the sunshine with her. So it's just me managing the tech. Daniel's on now, so let me just add him. Let's do this again and see if we can add on time, and hopefully my phone won't freeze. Let me have a look and see if we're all live on the page. Hopefully it's saying it's adding you, Dan, so hopefully you'll come on soon. So while everyone's joining, hi Tally, hi Stephanie, let's do what we normally do. Yay, Dan's here!
There we go.
Perfect. So I'm just saying, Dan, just doing a bit of the what's the buzz and apologising for the bad tech of Zoom not working and then my phone freezing. So as we normally
That's
do,
all right.
and you're all
If anything, this only promotes why videos are just so much better to do than live streaming in general.
Yeah, do recorded videos on YouTube and not live streaming. So the buzz in our business at the moment, we have got so much going on in Speaker Insight. A lot of you who know in the Connection Hub, we've been running an Avatar 5-day challenge last week. And we sent out an email today to Jo Huey, who is the winner of our Connect and Create Day coming up, of our workshop. She put together an awesome blog post for her avatar, encompassing everything that we taught her. She'd been looking for keywords on Answer the Public. She'd been asking her avatar all that stuff. So she put together a really awesome blog, which really encapsulated everything we taught. So there is a free ticket on its way to Jo Huey for the Connect and Create Day. If anyone's friends with me on Facebook, you'll realise I put a post up today saying, this week for me is an introvert's nightmare. I've got a speaking gig tonight where I'm running an event. I know some of you, Steph, are coming along to our spotlight tonight, where I help speakers create show reels. If I can get my internet up and running, I will put links in the comments to our Facebook Live today. If not, I'll put all the links after we've gone live. Conference where Tanya Hoffman's on her way flying over from America at the moment to set up a 3-day event for professional speakers to teach you how to learn these key skills on how to present and how to run a business as a professional speaker. And then on Friday to Sunday, Helena and I know she's watching from sunny Lanzarote because I can see her comments, we're running the Speaker Insight Retreat. So we've got some people here. I know that Steph's done that last time round, but we've got a full week of people. So my only ask for you today is, if I'm going to see you at any of these events, please don't hug me. I'm not a hugger, and you'll be draining all of my energy away from me. So I'm okay with a high five, but no hugging at these events. So Dan, just while I'm looking at some of the comments, tell us a little bit about what's the buzz in your business before we introduce you.
Oh, the buzz in my business. Well, definitely more and more people are jumping on the bandwagon of using YouTube for their business in general. One of the things I always love about the summertime, especially with self-development coaches, which is kind of like the niche that I've sort of found myself working in, doing sort of the filming and producing and stuff with them. The good weather tends to kind of bring them clients, which then kind of brings them to me to sort of spend on the marketing and help them to really get that perpetuating cycle of more clients kind of coming around. So yeah, it's summer's always a really exciting time for me.
Well, summer when it is sunny as well, right? If nobody would look out the window at either of our houses at the moment and think that it was summertime. The poor Americans flying over think, they're asking me, what should I bring? What should I wear? And I'm like, we've had sun, rain, hail, wind all in one day. So just bring every form of attire that you can possibly get.
Yeah, I don't think London can cope with any kind of weather condition, whether if it snows, the roads go icy. If it rains, it floods. If the sun's finally out, I think the roads just melt. So yeah, we're fortunate to be able to cope with every weather condition available.
We love it. So we really appreciate, so I'm saying we because Helena is watching, I can see her comments. So we really appreciate you joining us today. And I know that you're going to be at the Spotlight event this evening as well, because I suppose a lot of our audience probably already know you as cameraman Dan.
Stage name tends to go by.
And your superhero persona. We've seen all the cartoon characters, so I think it's great. But what I know more about you is actually the role that you take in actually being a YouTube strategist for speakers, authors, and coaches because of the work that you've done. And that's it's a topic that's come up quite a lot in the Connection Hub, and I know you've been on a couple of threads that we've tagged you in, where people are asking about, you know, why should I use YouTube? What's the strategy? How is it different from other social media platforms? So we really appreciate it that you're on, because we don't use YouTube as Speaker Inside. We put our lives up there. We turn our commenting off because we don't want to have lots and lots of platforms that we're spread across, but we want to have a presence on there. But we haven't got a YouTube strategy at all. So I'm sure Helena and I are going to be like taking lots of notes today. But before we get into that, can you tell us about the transition from you as Camera Dan to this YouTube strategist, and why you think it's such a good platform for speakers to use?
Sure. So I suppose kind of sort of rolling back about 7 years ago. So I used to kind of work in the retail world. I absolutely loved doing customer service and stuff like that. And it wasn't until 2012 when I became a main participant in a Darren Brown episode that was that aired on TV. And for those, if they want to watch the episode, I don't know if it's on YouTube, funny enough, but I know the trailer's on it because I've shown it to like 1,000,001 people. But the actual episode was where we were given this pill that we were told would cure our fears and phobias. And after 3 months of being on this pill, we were told it was a placebo. But me bringing this into the story is that it was because of the experience of that. Like, okay, it cured like my heights, spiders, claustrophobic spaces, fears, and you name it. Also became a bit of a motivation. I kind of want to start a business. I want to give something a go. Now, I'd kind of dabbled in doing sort of YouTube stuff over the years, especially in its early days when, you know, a couple hundred views was a huge deal. Whereas, like, opposed to like these days, like people aren't impressed unless you're like, oh yeah, I've got 100,000 views on a video, or 1,000,000 or something like that. And I used to I used to kind of make like these really silly YouTube videos. There's one of me on the internet, which I'll make sure it can't be found, but there's one of me in like a sour gobstopper, and I just record myself eating it. But in like I think it was about a week or 2 weeks, I'd got myself about like 300 views on it. And back in the day, YouTube used to give you accolades, like little trophies that would appear on your channel. And I would get ones for like funniest video, that kind of thing. But kind of rolling on over the years, I filmed myself doing like fitness challenges, and I put them on YouTube. And I would start making money from these videos of people watching them and then subscribing to it and doing the workouts that I was doing. So that was kind of an eye opener. That
how did you make money? Some people who don't understand that. How did you make money from putting those videos up?
Okay, so I made money through basically monetization of the videos, which means where you have adverts either appearing before, during, or after now, or next to the video that plays on YouTube. And when people basically either click on the advert, or the advert is at least appearing on the video or wherever, depending on what the actual brand or company or whatever have paid for.
Nice.
I was making, I think I was making back then about like £100 to £200 a month for something that I was then doing absolutely nothing for. And I had this going for about a year or so.
Right.
And then just as like laws have kind of changed over the years with copyright and stuff, you know, eventually that all kind of had stopped. But it was a really big eye opener that, right, well, you can make money through your videos. But I guess just prior to that, what really kick-started the concept of making money or having a business on YouTube was I made, and this is the really geeky side of me now, but I made at the time there was the PlayStation phone that came out. This was also must have been like 5 6 years ago, maybe even longer. But
Right.
I made this tutorial video on how to put games on the phone, and within about 2 weeks, it got to about 50,000 views. And also back then, you had to earn the right to become a YouTube partner. Whereas these days, you only have to click a button. It's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
now you're a partner. That's it. So I had YouTube then contact me and say, right, well, do you want to make money by having adverts and stuff appear on your videos? So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then shortly after that, within about 6 weeks, the video got about 80, 90,000 views. And I made about £500 from that one video.
Wow.
Now, it wasn't anything spectacular. It was
Yeah.
literally just me sort of filming it on like a little tiny camera. But it was a real eye-opener with some of the stuff that I like teach now about traffic videos and conversion videos and making stuff that's also trendy years. And then going from deciding to start my own little filming business, which then kind of developed into me learning a number of things over the years from, let's see if I can remember all this, because I'll try and do it in one breath. So I went from, there is a lot. Not to become a jack of all trades, which I definitely don't recommend with people, but it all funneled
It all comes
towards
together.
YouTube here, and definitely. And so it was that I got involved in filming, producing, directing, editing videos, coaching people on their presentation skills on camera, building membership sites, making membership products, email sequences and funnels, and then eventually what kind of came back to doing the YouTube strategy, which happened about 5 years ago when I had a couple of clients who I was kind of filming regularly for their YouTube channel, and they were like, Daniel, I don't know what to do with my channel here. Do you want to? You're welcome to do whatever you like with it. And just through like trial and error, I'd sort of worked out my own little process on what seemed to be converting, and it's just become like a rinse and repeat for. It doesn't matter the niche, it doesn't even matter the industry,
Nice.
because at the end of the day, it all comes down to content creation, and that's just what varies from person to person. So it was just amazing then that my reputation kind of grew with, okay, my filming one I'll touch with and say that it precedes me, but definitely with what I was doing with YouTube with people, it was just kind of blowing people away that I had some of my clients that had left their 9 to 5 jobs and they were now making like 5-figure salaries just from their YouTube channel, because we sat down together and was like, right, how many clients do you need to be hitting a target that you're going to be really content with?
Yeah.
And truth be told, the more videos you keep adding to YouTube, then the more SEO that you're actually getting
Yeah.
for your own name, and the more likely people are going to actually stumble across you. And I know with some of my clients, like the videos that we did like maybe 2 3 years ago are still getting them
Still.
clients today,
Yeah.
because the video really just ticked all the boxes what people were searching for.
Yeah. All that avatar wants and needs. And I think the thing that we love about you, Dan, is the fact that because you are that complete package, because you might have the strategy of the YouTube and wanting to put on there, but also you're advising people on good quality video. You know what it looks like, you know what it looks professional. So you can have those two arms of having the content strategy for YouTube, but also actually knowing what looks good, sounds good for the quality element, which I think is a great package. The fact that you do funnels and membership sites and everything else on top of that just means that you really understand the user journey of the avatar from when they've come across them, because the content's what they're searching for, to then nurturing them through a funnel to then an end product where they actually start working with that coach or consultant. So I think it's a great process. What I know, and we hear this a lot, right? We say, look, I've got loads of content on YouTube, but it's not getting as many engagements or likes or views as somebody else. And they're like, they're head scratching, going like, why is this? So because you've got so much experience and because you know this process of what works, why do you think, what do you think people do wrong on YouTube, first of all?
Oh, there's a crazy amount of things that people can do wrong on it, and obviously you kind of gave me you let me know with this question before before our chat, and I'm gonna, just for the entertainment factor here. Do you want to take a guess how many sort of things could go wrong, or what can affect it?
Could
Oh,
affect
just throw a number at me.
Well, it's like Dr. Pepper moment, right? There's loads of things that could go wrong. Do you mean with actually filming the video or uploading it or the content? What do you mean by go wrong?
Well, let's say everything in general with actually using YouTube to get either the viewer engagement or just some kind of conversion.
Okay,
You
I'm
want
gonna
to throw any number.
I'm gonna put a stab at like 50 because they've not tagged it right, they've put the title wrong, they've uploaded it without sound, all those types of things. I'm gonna put 50 out there.
Okay, actually, yeah, that is about right, funny enough. Now, I actually, off the top of my head, when I was writing it down, I actually sort of, and this was without me sort of going through everything on YouTube, but I'd actually written down 35.
Right?
Sometimes people are like, oh, there must only be like 10 things or something like that. So I'm actually impressed that you went sort of above and beyond there and went like straight for like the 50 number. No, you're a realist. That's the beautiful thing about that. But it's I mean it's true. I mean I think if I'd have just sort of sat actually on YouTube, I think there would have easily been over like 50 different things. And you know, again, it's just all part of the funnel that people are being taken through, or the journey that you're taking people through when they're actually one looking for your channel, two then actually going onto your channel, and then three actually going through videos to then decide if they want to work with you or
Yeah.
not. Do you want me to try and go through like the list of the 35 that I'd written down?
Yeah,
Would you like me to?
I mean, I'm sure our viewers would want to know what not to do. So if we can just do it in a sort of like bullet point side of things rather than going into depth, because we've really got like.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, if anything, otherwise we'll be here for hours if I try and go into it in that kind of level. But no, definitely, I'll give like a sentence or two,
Nice.
like for each of these. All right, so and I won't do it in one breath because I'll be probably like passed out on the floor afterwards. But all right, so starting off, I would say like people don't put a banner. So if I visit your channel, I have absolutely no idea what your channel is about. Why should I watch your videos?
Okay.
There's no banner clarity. So people who actually do put.
Should the banner,
Yep.
in your opinion, be an image or a video?
The banner is actually an image.
Oh,
so what the video is actually the introduction video that only appears when people haven't subscribed to you, and that is also on my list that people don't put that as well.
Right.
But in fact, if I suppose as a heads up for people, if you are working on your banner and you're not sure what to put, it needs to have these 4 particular things, which it needs to say who you are, what you do, what people can expect, and the regularity of content.
Oh, okay.
So with each of those things on there, now that you can do this kind of like through pictures or text or both or whatever, and I've definitely got clients that would be sort of great examples really to kind of probably like pass on to you that you can kind of give to people in the group. But you know, by having the who you are and what you do would essentially be even just your name and your title, or maybe like a little brief summary of what you kind of do.
Yeah.
Who you are, what you do, what people can expect, and the regularity of content can actually be merged into one, which could literally be something saying like, right, every Wednesday and Friday, you're going to get videos on entrepreneur advice on growing a business.
Nice.
You know. So all the banner is there for is literally just to get people, it's not going to convert you, the banner, but it is going to get them enough to invest in actually checking out your channel. That's all it's there for. But if the banner isn't clear enough, definitely. And also it's people's time. Like I wouldn't want to go onto a channel and look at something and go, right, what am I about to have a browse through? Is
Yeah.
this even relevant to
Yeah.
me? Do I even want to spend hours or whatever watching someone who I have never met before and have no idea about?
Yeah.
You know, so it's really important having you know, a good banner. And I also have that same those same four things in the welcome video, so the welcome to the channel video. The only extra add-on with that I would have is a call to action, which is
Okay.
basically telling people, like, you know, if you're
Subscribe.
interested in all this stuff, don't forget to click the subscribe button and also click the notification bell, which is this pure bit of nonsense that YouTube have introduced now. But you know, the idea that then people will get notifications on their phone
When.
once they've subscribed to you and you release videos. So yes, that's all. That's all of that bit anyway. But I'll plow through these. So yeah, so that's so if there's no banner, then why should I invest in looking at a channel that I have no idea what it's about? If there is a banner, but there's no clarity on it, then again, why would I want to invest in a channel that I have absolutely no idea about? If there's no intro video, so no montage of something that is an example of what video content is on the channel, that can put me off. If there's no bio, people don't put a big enough chunky bio that's filled with SEO keywords
Okay.
that then really heavily promote you, even not just on YouTube, but on Google as well. If there's no channel tag, so this is more behind the scenes, like there's a little bit where you can put channel keywords in. So just relevant tags to what your niche is that you can just put in there. People don't always
Dan,
put that, so they're not always found.
Are they your tags or are they predetermined tags that YouTube have put together?
No, these would be your own tags. So this
Okay.
would be where I would job role and stuff like that. Because people think, oh, I'll just stick a load of random keywords in of other people that I know of in this niche, and that will definitely get me the SEO. And they're far from the truth with that. That's definitely not how it works.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah, SEO is a huge factor, whether it be in the videos or behind the scenes with the channel and stuff like that. Yeah, they're all really, really important. So yeah, the intro video is not clear. So if they actually do have an intro video and it doesn't make any sense, it's not to the point. How do I know what the actual channel's about? If there's no playlists, then there's no video exposure. So again, I've gone onto channels and I've gone, are they even publishing anything? When actually they are publishing it and it's just hiding in the videos tab and you have no idea that there's new stuff coming out on a regular basis. That also leads on to undefined playlists, that people actually do have playlists, but you have absolutely no idea what kind of content is in that particular playlist. It's like as if they've just sort of, I don't know, they bought a load of like food recipes and just thrown it into one, and you're like, what? This is like 4 different meals here. Doesn't make any sense. So that would be that. No clarity on target audience. That sometimes even with the branding, it's not consistency to your niche. That could be as simple as like color schemes, design templates, you name it. No clarity on channel purpose. If sometimes people don't necessarily have a clear idea of what kind of content that they want to release, so they just make anything and then they put it on there, and you know, it could yeah, and you could be watching it and going, is this person fitness? Are they nutrition? Are they a yoga instructor? Or are they doing entrepreneurship stuff? Yeah, you know, so it could be all over the place. So, you know, you want to stick to like one area or a number of things, but make it clear that's what you're specializing in. Too heavy on the SEO titling on video. Sometimes people go a bit too OTT with trying to throw in as many keywords as they can, and they overdo it, and actually they probably screw themselves with too much SEO because they're trying to come up with too many, get themselves in too many searches, and actually with how the YouTube algorithm works, you're going to still appear in the bottom of other lists, and that's going to affect your ranking overall. Unclear video titles. So yeah, same thing. Freeze frame thumbnails, like the pictures on the thumbnails. Don't just use a normal screen grab from your video. I've seen ones where it looks like someone's about to sneeze. It looks awful. You know, it's gotta be something that clearly represents it.
Yeah,
which can also be the next thing, an unclear thumbnail.
Sorry, Dan, I was going to say in that it's quite good to just
I'll say it again.
like a Canva image, isn't it? With maybe an image with some text on and what the video is about or something, and have that as the thumbnail image rather than, as you said, a really unflattering shot of yourself.
Definitely, definitely. Which then leads on to the next one is that the thumbnail has to be relevant to the video. I've had it when people have started using some kind of like random image that they found off of Google or off of like the stock websites, and they just put a title and it's gone, well, what has that got to do with the video? Or it looks like there's a picture of someone in the office and the video is them sitting in their garden. It's just, it just doesn't make any sense. So there's that as well. No meta tags, so not actually putting any SEO in a video. Incorrect meta tags, using keywords that you think you might need to put there, but aren't actually relevant at all to the video or your niche at all.
Right.
No description underneath the video. Great opportunity to do a lot of SEO and upselling to other videos, your own merchandise, your own website, as well as being able to, what I actually encourage people to do is take the bio that they've created to also put that into the description in the videos, which also heavily SEOs them and stuff as well. Really, really important.
Can I ask a question about that, Dan? About the links underneath the video. Does it do any harm to put any links in that description if you want to send them somewhere else as an opt-in or something like that? Does it affect the viewership of it or where it gets?
I highly encourage it. So I have, and I've got this on my course, but I've got kind of like a template that I use for that description area on like where things should be and just how to kind of like divide it.
Okay.
So I would have, part. So let's say that this count this as part 1, 2, and 3. So in part 1, I would have a very short bio about what you're going to expect out of the video. Only like 2-3 sentences. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And also a subscribe link that you can kind of get the short code for. It's very, very easy to get hold of. But you literally just put this in.
Yeah.
Second bit would be all of your web links. So stuff to like your merchandise, stuff to your website, stuff to your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of that. Because you're creating backlinks there, and backlinks are fantastic also for any kind of SEO, which anyone will tell you about. So that's really, really good. And imagine the more videos you're adding, the more you're also putting more backlinks in, and you're actually going to do yourself even more favors with the promotion. And then the third part would be copying and pasting in your bio. Again, you would have all these heavy SEO keywords in there to do with you, your niche, your brand, what you do with people, all of that.
Nice.
And again, every video that goes out is going to just heavily SEO and you'll be picked up that little bit easier. So you can go really quite SEO heavy with the description thing. It's amazing when I see people put nothing, just empty.
But you can also
that's at least that.
You can save that as a template, can't you, Dan? So that middle section 2 and section 3 always comes up, and you then just only have to edit the description bit. So you're not having to rewrite it every time you put a video up. You can save that as a template, right?
That's correct. So yeah, in the actual sort of, if you go into the channel studio bit on YouTube, which is basically just all the behind the scenes settings and stuff. Yeah, there's an option that you can set upload defaults. And yeah, that also makes life easier as well. Same with, you can put in some of the SEO keywords with the meta tags. So you can already be ruling out some of the kind of basic ones like your name, your job role, you know, what you do and stuff. And then you can just focus on, right, what keywords are relevant to that video in particular. So yeah, it's all, for me, it's all about making lives easier for people, and that's definitely one of them. Right, I think I'm about halfway through these now, so this is good. So no meta tags, incorrect meta tags, no description. I've said that right. No end screen. You have the option to actually add an end screen at the end of your videos, which is basically, you can create sort of thumbnail links that can upsell people to watch another video.
Nice.
Now, for me, the magic of using YouTube isn't to try and just sell people to your course or your services straight away. It's to upsell them to another video, so you're building an even stronger relationship with them when they've never even met you as well. Where they'll be stopped on the street as if they're celebrities because people have watched their videos. It's phenomenal. It really is.
So that's
no,
like
it's great. All right, so now actually,
that's like the call to action.
Yeah, and that as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so you could even be saying to people like, look, go and if you like this video, go and watch this one on my channel or that one. You can also be quite if you're quite fancy with it and you have like the camera positioned in a certain way, you could even be like, right, if you enjoyed this, click this video here, or you can watch this video here on this, and it also looks pretty, you know, engaging with people, and you're creating a call to action without even saying a call to action, which is nice, you know, that's quite the funky way to do it. So yeah, so there's that as well. All right, on to the actual video issues. Videos, just get straight to the point with the videos. People have very limited time, and if they don't know you, why should they invest in you talking about, you know, what you make for breakfast, what you've done during the day and stuff before you actually get to what your epiphany idea is?
Yeah.
People also talk about way too many topics in a video. Make it very niche, be really specific. And in fact, the other ideas that you've got for that video, you can make other videos for, and suddenly you have even more video abundance and more of a reason for people to watch not just one video, but watch the next one and the next one and the next one.
And Dan, on that, what do you think is a prime length? Do you have any stats or data about what people are willing to watch on YouTube?
Yeah, so I mean so for me this is where, like, when I'm coaching people and I explain the concept of traffic and conversion videos. Traffic videos are just solely designed to draw in an audience.
Okay.
And conversion videos are designed to kind of convert that new audience into clients. So with traffic videos, which are more your kind of like virally or kind of like entertainment style videos, ideally, you want them to be shorter. So what seems to be the magic number with people is sort of between about 3 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Whereas with conversion videos, for me, if we're talking about someone becoming a client, I wouldn't even put a barrier on how long a video should be, because it could, an extra sentence or two could be the difference of you either making just a couple £100 to a few £1,000.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to do like a 2-hour video, maybe if it's even like of a talk.
Yeah.
Either one, they'll be so impressed that they want to work with you, or two, depending on if you're showing it maybe to, I suppose even in regard to it tonight about like speaker show reels.
Yeah.
If you're even telling maybe an agency or whoever, say like, oh look, I've got these videos on my channel, what do you think? That could also be the difference of them going like, right, we really like the way and how you're talking, or we really like your stuff. Yeah, we'd love for you to go here and do a talk here, or go there and do a talk, So I definitely wouldn't put a cap on the kind of like more advicey or knowledge based style videos.
Okay,
so,
I get that. So
yeah, traffic one's short and sweet, and the other one's bigger.
So the ones when you're capturing your avatar's attention, where you're just doing videos around what they're searching on, the keywords, the key questions that they're searching about, and you're giving them like a quick tip or some insight around that 3 to 7 minutes. But if you're doing a deep dive teach, whether it's a recording of a webinar, whether it's something like this as a Facebook Live where you're going really in depth, because those people then go, I really trust, understand what Dan's talking about, and because he's given me so much advice on this free, I mean, we're already at 45 minutes now, 45 minutes or so, but then I might want to work with him as a client and him do all my videos for me. they want to hear as much as possible of the content and the quality of your teach in order to make that decision of whether to work with you going forward. So I think that's a really nice distinction.
Yeah, and in fact, even with like the traffic style videos, you know, I actually have kind of like a template thing where I have this kind of concept that both traffic and conversion videos have personality. Element, which is essentially like that kind of curiosity factor about a video. Like, so a great example would be like a food recipe. If someone put a video up about like the ultimate chocolate fudge brownie cake, everyone's going to be like, "Well, how do you make that?" All right, I'm kind of curious here. I'll give that a watch, and you know, it will get just as many views as maybe like a video that's got a voiceover for a dog or something, you know, and someone's done something. Like I gave an example, I think once. I did a talk once, and there was a video of a talking dog, and it had hundreds of millions of views on it. And basically, the amount of money that this person made was probably enough to buy a house. You know, it was just phenomenal from one video. But the actual concept of it though led to so if that was a traffic video, the conversion videos on their channel, I can't remember what it was, but it was basically teaching people how to adopt pets and how to kind of look after, you know, animals that had been abandoned and things like that. So you had the entertainment factor which drew in the crowd, and the others that really kind of said, well, look, now you can do something good here.
Nice.
So I really like that. But like even in regards to coaches in like the self-development scene or wherever, you know, you can really be looking at like, well, what could I do that would be entertaining to do with my niche, that would, once people come in, they can see I've got a serious side as well.
Yeah, I like
and then the other element would be the trending, making something that is currently going on in the world as well. I think I'm just going to go grab my charger. I've noticed that my phone is saying I've got 5% battery life left. I'll be like 10 seconds here before it conks out. Hang on.
So while we're on, I know that Gabor and Michelle, you've just joined us, Helena, Richard. So if you've got any questions around YouTube strategy about you want to ask Dan in the last 10 minutes that we've got on here, then please put them in the comments. I have got my laptop over here because we had a tech nightmare when we first started. So I'm on my phone at the moment. And I know that, Michelle, you're speaking tonight. So hopefully once you get your footage at the spot reel, show reel tonight, Dan's going to be recording you this evening, and then you'll be able to use that in part of your show reel footage. So Dan, meet Michelle. She's going to be one of our speakers tonight.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so you'll have to come to me and I'll get you all mic'd up and whatnot as well. There we go.
Are you all
right, there you go. Right, so now my phone's on an unlimited amount of battery life, so that's fine now. That I don't have to stress with that. That's great. What was I? Oh yeah, so in the traffic videos, you've got the viral, the general interest, and the trending personality traits there. So depending on what kind of video you want to be making, you know, you could really kind of utilize those areas, and within them. And this is something really I've kind of got on my coaching, that I've got like a list of the different kind of videos that you can make within those traits. Now that's just with the traffic. With the conversion, you've got your knowledge-based videos and your demonstration of service videos. Well, I feel knackered after running backwards and forwards to that. So with them, you've got either your advice videos, you've got maybe recordings of you doing interviews, you've got your testimonials, you've got your client transformations, you've got your case studies, you've got maybe talks from like events and workshops and stuff. Those are the sort of videos that you can have that, again, they kind of demonstrate to people that, like, you know your stuff, and you're a good enough reason why they should come and work with you.
Yeah.
So I always, I think I've always used like the example of like the Marvel stuff with this, where, you know, if let's just say you're a life coach or a confidence coach, then maybe you might do like a viral or general interest video, which, okay, let's just say like one of the Marvel films has just come out. So we're going to hit on the trending element here and the general interest element here. And you might do three personality traits of Captain America that make him so confident, and how you can have that too. Something
Right.
like that on the spot. So that would be your kind of traffic video, and then the conversion might be, again, you maybe actually doing a client case study, saying how, oh,
Around
I worked
confidence.
with a client who was incredibly anxious, they were very shy, and then over the course of 3 weeks, I've now brought him to this. Here's his testimonial. You can click the link up here to watch his testimonial, or if you
Right.
want to watch the transformation, click there. And again, you're kind of just creating the funnel
Right.
between the
The flow.
traffic and the conversion. And yeah, and part of the strategy that I would do with people is like, right, well, depending on what your business model is, so whether or not you're a coach who's just trying to upsell to get clients, maybe you're someone who wants to just make money through monetization. So again, just adverts appearing on your
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
Maybe you're someone who wants to just upsell to a product or some kind of service, like a workshop or an event or something. Or maybe you're just someone who's like, I really don't want to do anything with my YouTube channel except just put some content on it. Then people actually forget you can use your YouTube channel as a portfolio as well. It's really great, especially for like artists and designers and stuff. It's a
Yeah.
great location, to just put all of your designs and art pieces on there that people can check it out, whether your network and
Nice.
say, oh yeah, have a look at my channel. I've got
Check it
some
out.
examples of my work. And it
Well,
sells itself. It really does. That's
so
kind of
so we've
like a
got
fast forward summary of that.
we've got about 5 minutes or so left before we have to shoot, but I have got a couple of
Sure.
questions for you as well, Dan. So Joe Fellows is asking if you have any lighting tips. Any like top lighting tips for people who are doing their own videos?
Okay, good question. So I would, well, two things here. One, if you have a decent camera and you wanted to actually just improve lighting with like soft boxes, then definitely don't need to actually spend a whole lot of money on stuff. Ignore the whole branding thing with that. As far as I'm concerned,
Right.
lights are lights at the end of the day. As long as it's got like a white filter, which most of them will come with anyway, you can
Okay.
definitely get like the LED stuff. I think it's the brand Niwa. They do like a ring that's like an LED
Yeah,
thing,
that's
and
what
it can
I've
kind
got.
of go
Yeah.
around the DSLR. So they're pretty good. Definitely LED stuff I think is a really good way forward. But sometimes what people don't realize, if they're not using like a DSLR, then part of the lighting issue can actually be down to the camera. So
Okay.
when I'm actually doing filming with people with like my DSLR equipment, it actually just can come down to the lens that I'm using. So some of the
Right.
lenses that I use, especially my pancake lens, which is a 24 millimeter, or you can use like the really fancy 50 mil lens. They both have something called, well, they both have a really good aperture, which is basically they both let in, bloody sirens, they both let in a really good amount of natural light. And the more natural light that you can kind of get with
Yeah.
it, you can also then have either a lower ISO count, or if you really still need the lighting, you can kind of bump that up, which is like the fake lighting on the camera. And you don't get that kind of like blurry, not blurry, like grainy, pixelated
Yeah.
kind of effect if you were to kind of bump that too high. So
Yeah, and I think that's
yeah,
we
so
get
so
we
you've
get
kind of got two options there.
we get a lot of comments on our videos normally when I'm facing the other way in my kitchen, because we don't use lights when we're doing our Facebook Live, because we've got so much natural light in here. And I think if anyone's using their iPhone, natural light is always the best way to go, rather than trying to do artificial light, because you just get that real clear picture rather than the graininess. So I get
Yeah, and then sometimes people don't realize that the videos look very overexposed, like they look almost kind of ghosted or very
yes,
whitish in
yeah,
places.
yeah,
And that can also be a little bit off-putting as well, and it loses its professionalism. Even if you've got good equipment set up, overexposure with the lighting, yeah, it can really sort of drop the quality down.
yeah. And so Michelle's asking, and we might be able to do this, Michelle, tonight, is about live streaming for her. She wants to she knows if you're on Facebook, you can Facebook Live, but can you live stream on YouTube? And what if so? What
Yes,
tech is
yes, you can.
necessary?
So I would use a software which is completely free, known as OBS.
OP.
It's basically it's a special, yeah, OBS. So it's not to be confused with IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, but yeah, OBS. Um, and it's a really good piece of software. So basically so many YouTubers use it. Especially a lot of computer gamers when they're kind of live streaming them playing on like the computer games and stuff. It's a phenomenal piece of hardware, and you can also connect, as I know, with other social. So you could be
Yeah.
live streaming not only
Right.
YouTube but Facebook and everything,
Great.
which is
We love it.
really good. And you get an international promotion as well. So if you're, I suppose like one of the issues that I find with like Facebook and LinkedIn even is that you're essentially a little bit kind of limited to who is kind of seeing your videos, whereas on YouTube you're getting an international audience that are seeing it at no cost whatsoever. And and if you've correctly SEO'd it, then there's a very good likely chance that when people are visiting their homepage on YouTube, which is really heavily been retargeted. So if you're searching for cats one day, then the next day you'll get loads of promotional channels all to do with cats on your homepage. The same thing applies with self-development. If you're looking at stuff with confidence, you'll get a whole to do with, most importantly,
Yeah.
if you're doing a live stream, that gets promoted higher than anything else, and especially if people are looking at that niche. So yeah, another reason why if you're going to do even live stream, I always at least factor in YouTube in some form whatsoever.
Love that. Okay, so I know that we are at 2 o'clock, and I know we started a little bit later because of tech problems, but I definitely want to make sure that people know how to connect with you, Dan, so that I know that a lot of people are coming to tonight's event and they'll be able to connect with you there. But what's the best way for people to connect with you?
Sure. Well, I suppose anyone who comes along tonight, then feel free to say hi. I might look intimidating, but I promise I won't buy it. You can connect with me. I'm always more than happy to connect with people. You can visit me on my website at cameradan.co.uk. It is getting a bit of an overhaul, so have a browse around it at the moment, but a lot of it is subject to change. But otherwise, yeah, if you want to drop me an email at dan@cameradan.co.uk, then yeah, you're more than welcome to drop me there. And I do like free half-an-hour consultations with people as well if they want some sort of extra advice on their YouTube channels or what direction to take it in. So yeah, more than happy to do that as well.
You're a fountain of knowledge. I know we didn't even get through all of the 35, 50 reasons why people went wrong, but I know that I wanted to make sure that we gave more context to people so people could actually make some practical changes just from listening to this live. And even when I was speaking to you beforehand, when we were talking about OBS, that's welcomed, opened my world. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more from you. Please, Dan's in the hub, so you can connect with him in the connection hub. The link's in the comments if anyone's not a part of our group. And we look forward to seeing you tonight, Dan, and in the future. Just bring a body.
Likewise. I'll see you this evening.
All right, guys. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll speak to you. I might see you on Thursday, I might see you at the retreat, or I might see you tonight. If not, I'll see you next Tuesday for the next Speaker Insight training with Helena. Take care, everyone. Have a good one. Thanks, Dan.
See you, everyone.